hell? My fault, y'all. Sweet. Yo! Alright, y'all, what's going on? Hey, real quickly, my bad about oh shit. My bad about that one too, but that's not what I'm here to discuss. Oh, cause you probably can't. I need to move the shit over here where I had it before because the lights are just too goddamn bright. Damn, boy, get your shit together. What's going on? Fix your webcam. Damn. Stop it, no, don't slide on me. Please don't slide on me. I just wanted to take your bitch out for a few minutes. Don't slide on me, please. Good, we got it. God. I know you're like, yo, motherfucker, get your shit together, bro. All right, yo. Look, I apologize about yesterday. Um, it was just too much shit going on. I wasn't able to stream, and then I had to stay after work. I stayed late at work and shit. It was just too much going on. I really wanted to stream, but it is what it is. So this what's going to happen today. All right. So we have some Eagles press conference that I like to watch. So Vic Fangio came out with one. Um, I said Fangio twice. Fangio, Jalen Hurts, and AJ Brown. We're gonna watch all three of those today. I think if Kevin Patullo got one, I don't really want to fucking hear what he got to say. But just because we got something to do on stream, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna try to get through as many NFL highlights as possible. And then tomorrow we're gonna stream the Oklahoma and Alabama game. That is the plan. That is the plan. All right. So if anything goes awry, we can have a discussion about that. But other than that, I think Summer Walker came out with an album. And so Fago came out with a song, which you would not be doing because I don't know how Twitch is with the new rules and shit. Because Universal be cracking down on people using their music on TikTok. This is not TikTok, fucking obviously. And also, before we get started, man, follow me here on Twitch at, I'm Bruce Leroy BIH. Follow me on all the other social media platforms at I'm Bruce Leroy. Please do it because I will slap the shit out of you. No, I won't. Y'all know I'm playing. I don't know I'm playing. All right, and follow me on TikTok as well. TikTok is It's Bruce Leroy BIH. All right, man, let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna have a discussion about the Jets and the Patriots game. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's becoming harder and harder to defend Justin Fields every day. Like every game, or matter of fact, let me get my shit together. Let me act like that I graduated with a fucking high school diploma and that I'm literate. Every single week, it's becoming harder and harder to defend Justin Fields. Did Adonai Mitchell play like shit last night? Abso-fucking-lutely. Was the play calling fucking horrendous for the most part? Abso-fucking-lutely. Please explain to me, right? The Patriots got the momentum, right? You guys are behind. You need to move the fucking ball down the field. Please explain to me why do you continue running the football as if the game's still in balance? The Patriots got momentum. You got to pass the fucking football. You got to have guys operate in space. And it's like they had a really good first drive, and everything else just went downhill. Now, granted, in Adonai Mitchell's defense, Justin Fields did not have a good game. Like, he had good moments, but he did not have a great game. I think he fumbled in the fourth quarter, which, snap or maybe his fault. I don't know what happened. He almost had his hand stepped on. Fields did not have a good game at all. I mean, he fucked up my parlay too, but I'm not upset. I don't give a fuck. I'm not like one of gambling, but oh, you fucked my parlay. Fuck you, bitch. No, like end of the day, he didn't fuck my parlay because I had him. The rushing yards he ended up getting, but he ended up getting under 130. What was it? 136. He couldn't even fucking get 136 passing. I don't know how much he got. It wasn't one, which is fucking crazy. And also, I don't know why the Jets decided not to throw the ball more to John Mechie. Like, you're relying on all these other guys. You brought 2 wide receivers over. Like, if Adonai Mitchell's not catching the ball, and again, to Adonai Mitchell's defense, there was one throw, I think it was, I don't know if it was the first or second quarter, sometime in the first half, where where Justin Fields threw the ball behind Adonai Mitchell. So on one of those drops, I guess, it wasn't technically his fault. Cool. I just want to make sure my shit was on D&D. And like nobody gonna call me anyway, cause whatever. I'm not gonna get too personal. But yeah. And then also Kirk Herbstreit, man, that nigga said some dumb ass shit. He said that motherfucking Justin Fields struggled in Pittsburgh. What the fuck are you talking about? Justin Fields did not get benched because he struggled. Now, granted, I don't think he was amazing over there in Pittsburgh, but I think he did enough. He was solid. I spoke about this at length on some other recaps. I don't remember which one I did, but I did speak about how, matter of fact, when I was talking about Fields and why I'm a Fields fan, which again, it's becoming harder and harder to be a fucking Fields fan every week because the man threw a ball off a helmet, like he's throwing passes behind, like he's not playing good. And again, we could attribute it to low morale, the system being fucked up, the play calling is absolutely dog shit horrendous. Again, if you want to involve Breece Hall, right, and let's just say, okay, we don't want to come off too one-dimensional, you can't involve Breece Hall in the passing game, which they tried to, but the Jets are a fucking dumpster fire. It is what it is. I don't understand why it took you all fucking day to go involve John Mechie. I would think he'd be just as important to your game plan because you had him, I think, a week or two longer than what you had Adonai Mitchell. So why not use him? Why not involve him in again? And he was the one who ended up catching the touchdown pass. So I don't think Fields did not play good. I look like again, he had moments, but the things that he could control, he didn't do a good job of doing that. But listen, on the flip side of things, we have to talk about Drake May. I'm gonna tell you something right now. You may agree with me, you may disagree with me, but listen. I'm gonna tell you something right now, and this might get some people on my side. This might do the opposite. I don't give a fuck. Everybody know I say what the hell I want to say over here. The New England Patriots, if they do not make it to the AFC Championship, the season was a failure. I'm gonna say that one more time for those in the back. Holla if you hear me. If the New England Patriots do not make it to the AFC Championship this year with their roster, and they, mind you, by the way, shout out to Christian Ellis. He was on the special teams in Philly and did, I think at one point in time, he was a starting linebacker, and he has really blossomed over in New England. So shout out to Christian Ellis. But they get him back, and I say Christian Ellis played in New England. He's really good. He's like an all-pro caliber talent. They get more of their guys healthy. I'm telling you right now, if New England does not make an AFC Championship this year was a failure. It is not good enough for them to make the divisionals. Now, they should get the bye, because I don't really know what the Colts' schedule is. I could look it up if I want to. But if New England does not win the divisional round this year, and they don't make it to a conference championship, this season was a flop. Because you got Stephon Diggs, who had a really good game last night, and I probably should have bet him to have over 50 yards. I don't know why I did it. Most likely because New England does more or less a wide receiver of committee, but very fucking stupid. I should have bet that instead of betting fucking like. Listen, I thought Fields was gonna be good enough to get at least over 136. He didn't. You know what I'm saying? So that fucked me over. Um, but it is what it is. I don't really care about my parlay too much. It's just a matter of like bro, you got to get your shit together. But Drake May, if they give him the MVP this year, which it's most likely they might, because I listen, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. You can say from week 1 up, and again, I don't think Baker Mayfield should be out the conversation the way people are so quick to move on. I still think he's in a conversation. That's why people kind of people put Josh Allen in. I'm like, Josh Allen has not been the best player in any 1 week. What week can you listen? If y'all see this, maybe if I clip this, whatever the case may be, has Josh Allen in any week? What are we in week 11? In any 1 week, has Josh Allen been the best player in football? Absolutely the fuck not. I don't know why the fucking mainstream sports media is addicted to glazing the fuck out of this nigga for no reason. Like, literally, the simple fact that he could put on a fucking helmet, they start glazing him. Like, it's insane. Like, there's not, and again, it's not to say that Josh Allen's having a bad season. He's had some bad games this year, right? And again, I told y'all what the key to success for the Buffalo Bills, which would be to run the goddamn rock. And until they understand that James Cook is just as instrumental to their success as much as Josh Allen is, the Bills will do the same fucking thing they do every single year. Maybe get to a divisionals, maybe lose to a competitive team. Either way, the Chiefs, well, actually, you got to be careful because the Chiefs might miss the playoffs because the Chargers are winning football games and Denver is going to win their division. So the Chiefs better be careful not to miss the playoffs. All right, so they got to get their shit together. But I believe in Mahomes. I believe in my GOAT. I believe in my GOAT. You know what I'm saying? I believe in him. So hopefully the Chiefs get their shit together, and they got all their wide receivers back. So Rashee Rice is back. You got I don't know what's going on with Pacheco. That's why the goddamn Chiefs should have got bro. Y'all remember when I compared the Chiefs not giving up their 3rd round pick for Breece Hall to when Martin didn't want to pay the landlord $5 to turn the heat on? Y'all remember that episode? That's what this shit reminded me of. Bro, that 3rd round pick is gonna be a fucking 4th round pick anyway. Bro, you literally about to cost this team a fucking you about to put a dent in Mahomes' legacy by missing the playoffs in his prime. This team just needs a running game. They need somebody they can consistently rely on, and you can involve them in the pass. Like, why the fuck would you not give up a 3rd round, which is essentially a 4th round pick, because you know how far the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl damn near every year. It's damn near a 4th round pick. Just give this shit up. Have a young guy, and guess what? He does well. You now got a great running back for at least the next 3 to 5 years. What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? And on top of that, it's a rental. It's a rental. You telling me that Breece Hall isn't better than the room you got now? I don't respect to Isaiah Pacheco, but at the end of the day, Pacheco has not quite rebounded from his injury last year, okay? And a Kareem Hunt, good in short yardage situation, but do you trust him to be your starting running back? I don't know. The last game against Buffalo told me otherwise. But these are questions we got to ask. But going back to New England, sticking to the topic at hand. By the way, Stevenson might have lost his starting running back job. This guy, Henderson from Ohio State, he's the real deal. He brings everything. He's good at catching out the backfield. He's tough. He's physical. And he got some good downhill speed. He actually can do more than what Stevenson do. Now, if you guys remember that guys have been keeping up with the Patriots, Stevenson has been having some fumbling issues. I'm telling you this right now. Vrabel's going to look at this goddamn tape. And I got to be honest. There's no way in the hell that Stevenson gets it. There's no way in the hell that Stevenson gets his There's no way in the hell that Stevenson will get his starting running back job on the Patriots. There's no way. Especially with how good Henderson played last night. Would he have 3 total touchdowns? He had 1 receiving touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns. He was fucking amazing. So there's no way. There's no way that he actually gets his gets his job back, especially with all the fumbling issues. Impossible. I genuinely don't see it happening. But yeah, May is looking great. The only thing I will say, and this is the truth. Now, quarterbacks are taught that, okay, you got to step up in the pocket. And that's a good thing. But when I watch Drake May, it can be used against him. He does a really, really good job of stepping up in the pocket. An outstanding job. And like, if they give Drake May the MVP this year, I genuinely wouldn't be upset, because here's the thing, right? And I meant to try, kind of finish off this point. I just went off on a tangent talking about the Kansas City Chiefs and Breece Hall. But the reality situation is this. I'm trying to think what the hell. I lost my train of thought. I didn't even touch my nose with it. Shit. Hold on. Shit. Here we go again. Scatterbrain. Yes. So Saquon Barkley had arguably the best running back season of all time. If you didn't give him the MVP, now again, we're talking about the MVP is who is the best player in any given league year. Some of y'all say who is the most valuable on their team, and all that bullshit terminology that, all that bullshit ass terminology that's literally very subjective. You could argue any position. You could literally argue a non-skill position to be the most valuable player in the league. Like, according to y'all definition. But the real definition of what an MVP is okay. So you got all these players in this goddamn league. Who has been the most dominant from week 1 all the way up to the end of the season? Now, I do think you can't just fucking wet the bed, pause, in the playoffs. You have to. You can't be MVP, best player in the league in the regular season, and be complete dog shit in the playoffs. I think 80% of what you do in the regular season. I can't fucking talk today. 80% of what you do in the regular season should matter when deciding an MVP, and I think 20% of your playoff performance should come into play when deciding an MVP. So I feel like 80% is the regular season performance, and 20% should be allocated to what they do in the playoffs. That's just my opinion of how I would rate an MVP, right? You can't just be, oh my God, he's amazing, and then you just come like fucking throw 3 interceptions and throw for under 150 yards. I still can't believe to this fucking day. Well, not to this day. I still can't believe that Justin Fields did not get over 136. Like, to me, that bitch makes no fucking sense at all. None. But anyway, just moving forward. Trying to think about. Yeah, but Jonathan Taylor, you could argue, has been the most dominant player from week 1 all the way up until now, right? But if you give him the MVP and you didn't give Saquon MVP, not only will I raise hell on this motherfucking app, on this Twitch, whatever YouTube, like whatever this motherfucker going on, not only will I raise hell, that it would be complete bullshit. There's no way that you deny Saquon Barkley a 2,000-yard rusher, and we'll see. I don't know how many yards Jonathan Taylor will end up getting. It might be 2,000. Who knows? But the greatest regular season running back of all time does not get an MVP, but you're going to give it to Jonathan Taylor. But again, just all in all, just wrapping up that point, if they do decide to give Drake May the fucking idiot. If they do decide to give Drake May the NFL MVP, especially the way he's playing, I can't argue with it. I wouldn't even be upset. It's not like some shit where Josh Allen got a fucking glazing MVP over Lamar Jackson. And really, Lamar Jackson didn't even deserve it, because the best player in the fucking league last year was Saquon Barkley. But that's going into another soapbox conversation. I don't want to keep repeating myself. You already know how I felt about that situation. And no, I'm not just saying it because I'm an Eagles fan, by the way. But just kind of getting my fucking mic together and actually pretending like I'm illiterate. Oh shit. Okay. But yeah, New England got a complete team. They got Hunter Henry is a top 10 tight end. Y'all can argue with your mom on that. Diggs is still elite. They got Mac Hollins, who can be very instrumental in their offense. Like, Will Campbell had not a perfect game, but he had a pretty damn good game. Like, he went up against McDonald, who had 4 sacks last week. And basically, I don't think he had a sack one time on I don't think McDonald had a sack one time on Drake May. Like, he did a really, really good job of holding up his end of the bargain. He did get a holding call, but He said, yo, I'll die trying to protect my quarterback. I don't think, based on last night's performance, I don't think he's lying. Now, moving forward, we got to have a discussion. Yeah, but at the end of the day, and then the defense wise, what receiver is going to beat Christian Gonzalez in the AFC? We look at all the AFC playoff teams, right? You think about, I think Christian Gonzalez could lock up Zay Flowers. I think he could lock up either Rashid. Now, Xavier Worthy is going to be a challenge. And then you got Milton Williams. I didn't see him at all during the game. I don't know if he was injured, whatever the case may be. Christian Ellis comes back. That's even better for your defense. And they got a group of guys. And from what I heard, they basically built their defense around guys that's been either journeyman or guys that's been cut and release. And like on their damn near their 4-15. And by the way, those guys are playing pretty hard yesterday. 100%. Now again, it's the fucking Jets offense. But still, that matters a ton. You know what I'm saying? So, and by the way, Herbstreit says another dumbass statement. Like, this nigga just say stupid fucking shit. I don't know why the fuck they allow this nigga in the NFL. Bro, I don't know if he got a family and he don't like his fucking family, whatever the case may be. Maybe he hates his goddamn wife. Maybe this nigga don't like his kids if he got any. But I'm telling you this right now. He said that motherfucking Mike Vrabel was a good coach. No, the fuck he was. He was a great coach. Tennessee's defense was always elite. Vrabel was a defensive-minded coach because he was a defensive player. The defense in Tennessee was always elite under his tutelage, right? The only thing I felt like that was holding the Titans back, and obviously Derrick Henry was amazing. The only thing I felt like was holding the Titans back was obviously the GM traded away fucking A.J. Brown. But also, Tannehill just wasn't good enough. And that's not really on Vrabel because every coach got their specialty on what they do well on both sides of the ball. If you got your expertise covered, which would be the defense, I don't think that, again, your quarterback can't be complete dog shit because you are the CEO of the team. But in the same respects, I don't put too much of the Titans' shortcomings on Vrabel. I thought Vrabel didn't do a good job. I thought he did a great job. I thought firing him, I'm actually glad he got fired. Now, before y'all go crazy on me, whoever's in the goddamn chat, just hear me out for 1 second. The Titans are a shit show, right? They gave away Derrick Henry. They gave away A.J. Brown. It was time to just move on. So I think, and again, I don't really like what, again, I'm not a Patriots fan. I didn't keep up with them. From what I heard, so, to be honest with you, I don't think it was fair that you hire Jared Mayo and then fire him after 1 year. I don't think it's fair, okay? But the second thing is this. Vrabel's always been a great coach. So I'm happy he just got into a better situation, a more structured organization with Robert Kraft being an owner, and he got, whoever's the GM is making some really, really outstanding decisions as far as who to put on their team. They're drafting well. Guys are developing. And it seemed like the Patriots are back to playing Patriots football now with some offensive weaponry. They got the run game intact. The offensive line is getting better and better. Campbell is showing a lot of flashes that he could be a really good offensive lineman moving forward. And they got a nice wide receiver by committee, and their tight ends are outstanding. And their defense is just, Christian Gonzalez is an all-pro player. Like it is what it is with that. But yeah, I think that if the Patriots, like I was saying before, the Patriots did not make it to the AFC Championship, this season was a flop because I don't really see a team top to bottom that can really give the Patriots problems. I just think it's going to be up to Drake May's performance. Now, going further about Drake May, I like that he steps up in the pocket. I think that's very, very good use of his fundamentals, and he puts it out on display on the field. But this is also another thing that I will say as well. Drake May, you can use it against him that he steps up in the pocket. And I'm going to tell you, you can use it against him that he steps up in the pocket. And I'm going to tell you how. If you got good defensive tackles, you got a good nose guard that knows how to shed blocks, you can actually get to Drake May. You just have to have a good interior. So from watching the game and observing, because I think there was a sack on May, and I think it was one of the defensive tackles that got it. So if you can get pressure up the middle, I think you can affect Drake May. I think if the Patriots lose, I don't see the Patriots lose. The Patriots should not lose before the AFC Championship. But if they do, I think interior pressure would have a lot to do with it. And that's how, if I'm watching a film on Drake May and I'm a defensive coordinator, that's what I would do. I would definitely make sure my defensive tackles get ready because he's going to step up in that pocket. And when he does, we're going to be ready. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all I got to say about that. It really was a straight, like the Patriots pretty much, especially on the offensive end, could pretty much do whatever the hell they wanted to do. It really wasn't a hard game. Really, the Patriots probably should have had more points. Just keep it all the way a stack with you. Like, because Mac Hollins had a drop off a deep shot. Jeez, what is going on with this motherfucking what's it? Come on, bro. Damn. My bad, y'all. But yeah, hold on. So y'all can see my face. I can't feel my face when I'm with you. Alright. But yeah, born at by the way, I had to finish up because I was nodding off and shit, but I literally just finished it. Like I couldn't even finish the fourth quarter. Like it was really bad. Like the Jets are a shit show, and I think moving forward. And by the way, there was another thing that was said. I think on it was Whitworth or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is the truth. And again, I'm hoping that this doesn't happen because I don't think it's fair. I don't like unless you're fucking hideous. I don't think it's fair to fire a coach. I think Freddie Kitchens had to go in 1 year. It is what it is, right? There's some coaches that get fired in their first year, and I'm like, well deserved because you was dog shit. Like Urban Meyer had to fucking go, had to. All right. So there's some coaches that deserve to get fired in their first year of coaching. But I think for the most part, you have to allow themselves to get established, especially if you're sending them to a franchise that's notoriously been a shit show, as AJ Brown put it, with us, even though we're 7-2. But we'll have a conversation about AJ Brown moving forward. But this is what I will say. Aaron Glenn has not given us, and this is the truth, right? Because here's the thing. I would like to personally see him get another chance to see if he can, because the Jets got a lot of draft capital because of the Sauce Gardner trade. By the way, that video got erased. So I'm going to give you guys, some of my thoughts on, like, some of the trades and acquisitions that certain teams have acquired. Now, geez, I don't know what the hell is wrong with me. I keep losing my train of thought. I don't know. Hey, it is what it is. But just moving forward. Fuck, I cannot get my goddamn. I know me is so much better than this. I don't know what's going on with me today. Bro, I'm having a fucking brain fart. What is going on? What is up? What is up? Shit. Here we go again. What's I trying to say? Talk so goddamn much. I got so much in my brain. Trades. And then what else I wanted to say? I think I'm gonna stop talking about the game. Okay, the Aaron Glenn situation, right? Personally, I would like to see him get another chance. But I looked at the Jets, right? And Aaron Glenn is a defensive coordinator, so he's a former defensive coordinator, I should say. So he's a defensive guy. That Jets defense didn't look not even a flash or something promising. You don't get a lot of sacks, and I think if I'm not mistaken, they didn't get one turnover, not one takeaway this whole year. Okay? The offense looks dog shit. There's nothing about this team that has improved or shown flashes. So the reason why I mentioned what's that guy name? Andrew Whitworth. For those that don't know, he's a former Rams offensive lineman, definitely a yellow jacket wearer. The reason why that I'm talking about the panel because they said that you got the draft capital and it was debated about how Aaron Glenn next year can go and try to get his guys that fit more his scheme, fit more his system, fit more of his personality that can be reflected upon the team. I got to be honest with you, okay? Do I want Aaron Glenn to get a second chance? Yes. Do I think that what he's done so far? I said what done so far. What he's done so far has warranted him getting a second chance? Absolutely not. If they fire him after 1 year, I can't get upset about that. It's not like a situation with like Jared Mayo where like you're moving a little too fast, right? Now get it. Mike Vrabel is an upgrade because he's proven that he's a great coach, or he's already proven that at Tennessee that he's actually a fantastic football coach. 100%. The reason why he didn't have a job last year was not because he was ass, probably because he just wanted to just sit and chill for a few minutes. You know what I'm saying? But make no mistake about it, Mike Vrabel is a fucking upgrade over. Mike Vrabel is better than 80% of coaches in the NFL right now. Like I like to really, I gotta be honest with you. There's less than a handful of guys that I would sit up here and tell y'all to y'all face, and I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at what the Patriots are doing right now, and I'm looking at what he did in Tennessee during his tenure. I cannot tell you with a straight face that I can name more than about six. I don't think I could name six head coaches that you could definitively tell me is better than Mike Vrabel. I'm sorry. And by the way, when I'm saying what I'm saying, I'm including his tenure over in Tennessee as well. So I'm taking everything into account. Um, just outstanding. Like, he's a player's coach, but he coaches those guys the Patriots way. What does that mean? That means he's holding guys accountable. It's strict, but it ain't super strict to where like it feel like you in a goddamn military and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why Brady had to get the fuck about it and say, yo, I want to enjoy the goddamn sunshine. I want to have some fun. Like, motherfucker, I got 6 rings in this bitch. I want to chill. I don't want to sit up there and feel like I'm running a fucking boot camp. Like, nigga, I already proved my status as probably arguably being the greatest quarterback of all time. Ain't no reason to be in that stress. And yeah, right, that nigga, when he got an opportunity, he said, yo, you motherfuckers ain't bring me no weapons. So I took less money, got y'all all these championships, and you won't even give me fucking some wide receiver weapons? Oh, fuck out of here, Belichick. I'm gone. Bye, nigga. Like, yo, I leave the scraps to you, man. Don't be proud. You know what I'm saying? But nah, hold on. But there's nothing, just overall wrapping up the Aaron Glenn conversation, there's nothing that I look at Aaron Glenn and say, there's nothing I can redeem. And again, I'm not saying everything that's going on is entirely his fault, because Fields is not playing well this year. He's had some moments here and there, and then the ownership is fucking terrible. But from what I've seen, okay, let's forget about what's going wrong with the Jets. What has Aaron Glenn brought to the team? Genuine question. What has Aaron Glenn made? Has Aaron Glenn made any side of the ball better? Has Aaron Glenn, like, what has Aaron Glenn done to improve this team? And the answer is none. So everybody's talking about, oh yeah, wait till Aaron Glenn get his guys next year. He might be the guy that's not in the fucking Jets organization, that might not even have a head coaching job next year. He might have to go back to being a goddamn coordinator. And listen, I want to see Aaron Glenn get a second chance, but we have to be honest and say that there's nothing that's warranted him getting another opportunity. I'm sorry, I gotta keep it real. Now, my video on Tuesday got deleted, and I forgot to kind of clip some of my reactions. So there are some trades, obviously, that happened, I think, last week at the Tuesday deadline. I'm gonna talk about it. So the Jets gave up. The Jets ended up getting 2 first-round picks and ended up getting Adonai Mitchell. So far, Adonai Mitchell, and number one, I don't think giving up 2 first-round picks for a corner who has a lot of talent, or who has a lot of upside from a talent perspective, but has not gotten, um, he the tools are not all the way there yet with him. He still needs to develop. Again, he has a lot of upside to him from a talent perspective, but when it comes to fundamentals, playing the game the right way, he still needs a lot of work. He has a lot of he's a physically talented specimen. There's no question about that. But when it comes to playing the football at the NFL level, at an elite level, matching up to his hype, he hasn't quite done yet. In fact, I think Stingley is low key the better player between those 2 guys. But that's neither here nor there. But what do I think? For the Colts, I don't like this move. Why I don't like this move? Because you're assuming that this year's success is going to be next year and a year after. And also, here's the thing. You're not even definitively the best team in the NFL. Okay? Because you got New England there, the Eagles doing their thing, Seattle's doing their thing over on the NFC side, right? Who else? Who else over in AFC? So far, we got Who's dominating? So it's the Colts, it's the Patriots, and Denver is up there too. You're going to sit up here and tell me the Colts are definitively between, and again, I understand it doesn't necessarily matter on the opposite side of the conference, but we just got to look at this conversation from a holistic perspective here. You're telling me that the Colts are 100% better than the Eagles, 100% better than the Seattle Seahawks, 100% better than the New England Patriots, 100% better than the Denver Broncos. No. They still got holes on their team that they need to fit. I think they can use another edge rusher. I think they could use some more corners, like use some more safety. But again, these are guys you can go and draft. You do your research, you build them up, you go and develop. Also, what you're doing when you trade away your like, I understand Adonai Mitchell was a second-round pick, but that's still a high pick. You don't fucking trade away a guy that you receive within the first 3 rounds. That's just beyond fucking stupid. Because now you're setting a bad precedent and saying that, oh, when you draft players, if you see something that looks, the grass is green on the other side type shit, if you go and look at that, that means you're going to abandon their play. You don't have. A lot of people are praising Ursay for this. I forgot her first name, Brittany, I think, whatever the case may be. But a lot of people are praising her for this, and I'm like, I have to be honest with you here. This is a very impulsive move because you tell me there's not a corner in this draft. Because listen, let's keep it all the way a buck. This quarterback, class is fucking buns. The only person I would say has a little promise that I could see do well, but again, it really depends upon the system because I had to ask about Ty Simpson. Because Ty Simpson is playing in Alabama. Alabama got all the fucking recruits. So if you take Ty Simpson to a team with lesser talent, where he has to kind of build the team up, because he's shown a lot of resiliency in tough games. But it's kind of easy to do that when you got weapons around you. If I take away those weapons and you got to build the team up from the ground up, will you still be the same player, or would there be any flashes of what you've done in Alabama? To me, that's a huge question mark, considering the fact also this is Ty Simpson's first year starting. But again, Ty Simpson has been outstanding this year. Like, outside of the Florida State game, which I think that he had to clean up the decision making, but the arm talent was always there. So he has the ability to make plays. But do you have the same? If I don't give you Riley Scott, I don't give you Bernard, I don't give you fucking Ryan Williams, I don't give you all these Alabama recruits. If I take all those away and give you a team, because I don't think he's better than Cam Ward. Okay, and look at Cam Ward's numbers are very bad. Okay, so if he's not better than Cam Ward, especially from a physical talent perspective, look at what's going on over in Tennessee. It's a goddamn shit show over there. So if you put him in a shit show, can he elevate the team in any way? It's still a question mark. Everybody was saying, oh, Nussmeier, no. So I got to be honest with you. You're setting a bad precedent, because there's no way in the hell you look at Sauce Gardner and say to my face, I can't go use that first round pick, because here's the thing. I don't think the Colts are guaranteed to get past the divisionals. I really don't. I feel like that they can lose. Like, they got the team where they can get to a conference championship, but will they do it? I'm not entirely certain. I'm not. I don't have that much faith in the Indianapolis Colts to say, oh, they're guaranteed. Like, I got more faith in the Patriots making the conference championship and potentially getting out of the AFC to a potential Super Bowl than I do the Colts. I think the Colts can actually get upsetted. Any team can get upsetted, but I wouldn't be surprised to sit up here and tell you that, oh yeah, I don't think the Colts. I think the Colts can get up, especially after watching the Pittsburgh game. This team is very beatable. As great of a year as they have, a great job as Shane Steichen has done. Daniel Jones for elevating his level of play. Jonathan Taylor playing like pretty much the best player in the NFL right now. Receivers are making plays. You got Pittman making plays. You got Pierce making plays. You got Tyler Warren, who it seems like that's a pick that they hit on, right? The defense is playing pretty good. Again, and on top of that, when you give up 2 first-round picks, you basically are saying that, okay, our team is complete. The Colts are not a complete football team. Like, we're talking about having all the pieces in place to be able to compete for years and years to come. The Colts are not a complete team. There's no way in the hell you could tell me that you can't pick up somebody of Sauce Gardner's caliber in the draft. The corners are they don't go off the board that goddamn early, right? And let's just say, for instance, okay, the Colts losing the divisionals. You're in a great spot to go grab a corner if you really want to. But they gave away their 2 first-round picks like their team is complete. Like, they're guaranteed the best team in the league, and they're guaranteed to make a Super Bowl, and also they're guaranteed to continue their success beyond this year. And I'm telling you, it's not the case. They do not have enough pieces, in my opinion. I'm not sold on the Colts to believe that, okay, they could do what the Chiefs are doing right now. They could do what Buffalo has been doing, what the Baltimore Ravens have been doing. I'm not confident in them like that, truthfully. If anything, to be honest with you, I'm more confident in Denver doing something in the future, especially with how good their defenses have been traditionally from year to year. I'm more confident in Denver moving forward in the future than I am of the Indianapolis Colts. And again, for the Broncos, this is more about, Bo Nix proving that he is the guy, because sometimes he has a very, he's kind of inconsistent with his play at times. He cleans up his play. I have more faith in the Broncos moving forward as far as having the future to be able to compete than I do for the Colts, because this could very well be a lightning in the bottle type of season. There's no way that you look at this roster as currently constructed and say, we don't need our first round picks. And then you give up Adonai Mitchell, who you just draft. So now you send a message to the players that, hey, I'm not here to develop you. You guys are expendable. If I see something that I like, I don't give a fuck that you just got here, didn't have time to develop, didn't have time to get team chemistry. Your ass is gone. Now, I know what some of y'all cats are going to say. Oh, yeah, well, Adonai Mitchell didn't play good in New York. He's a rookie. He's a rookie. Shit happens. You know what I'm saying? And again, he did have the notorious thing where he kind of did a celebration and fumbled the football before he got to the end zone. That was a bonehead mistake. But nah, at the end of the day, he's still a rookie at the end of the day. So, like, you have to kind of take it easy a bit. Like, bad games are going to happen. Not everybody's going to come out to draft is going to be a generational talent. So, for the Colts, I don't actually like this trade. I think they could have got a corner. Because, once again, I'm going to reiterate. I do not think the Colts are good enough to get past the divisions. Like, I think on paper, they're good enough. I think play-wise, I wouldn't be surprised if they got bounced out. So serious. By Buffalo, by Baltimore. If Baltimore makes whatever case may be with that, they can get bounced. Hell, if Cincinnati make the playoffs, I think they can get bounced out by them. That's the truth. Now, granted, their defense is fucking terrible. But, point being. So, moving forward with that. So, Quentin Williams. So, Logan Wilson, that shit was laughable. But they got Quentin Williams. They used, I think, their 2027 first-round pick, and they gave it to the Jets. So, I thought it was a great move. I think you're getting Kenny Clark is really good, is a talented player, but Quentin Williams is a generational talent at defensive tackle. You're getting him right in his prime. He can really help. But I think most of where Dallas's issues is, and again, number one, they need an edge rusher. Them losing DeMarcus Lawrence was a bigger hit than people actually understand. And their secondary sucks. You can blame Matt Eberflus all you want. You shouldn't just act like you don't know how to play fucking zone defense. Like, I understand, okay, you guys prefer to be, more man-to-man structured defense. I understand that. But you tell me you don't know how to play no fucking zone? You tell me that you're physically incapable of playing fucking zone defense. What are we doing here? So, when it comes to that, it's just like, but yeah, I think the Cowboys definitely get better. But I don't look at the acquisition and say, oh, the Cowboys are guaranteed to not repeat the cycle that they're normally doing and win a playoff game or go past the divisionals. I don't look at that move and say it solves their problem. I genuinely don't. I don't look at this move and say, oh yeah, they're guaranteed to really make some noise this year. A fucking mouse going in and out of a wall and crawling under somebody's empty ass McDonald's wrapper and half-eaten burger probably make more noise than the Cowboys after this. So at the end of the day, great acquisition Finally, Jerry knows that understands that you have to actually acquire, go out of your way to acquire talent, and you don't just point at a fucking player on the screen and they automatically magically become a Dallas Cowboy. You got to actually get on the goddamn phones and put some fucking work in to go fleece some teams, to go negotiate and do all types of shit, right? Um, but yeah, at the end of the day, I think it makes them better, and I think having a pass rush definitely helps. But again, you're getting an interior guy. If Quentin Williams, I don't know if he ever been moved to the edge before, but unless Quentin Williams was an edge rusher, this doesn't really help your secondary is really was what caused your secondary does not know how to play fucking zone, and they can't cover for shit. Your secondary just overhyped ass players with a lot of speed, a lot of so-called physical talent, but the technique is not there. The fundamentals of playing DB the right way is not there in that secondary. They can have all the physical talent they want. Like Deron Bland is not playing like a motherfucker that deserved that goddamn contract. Straight up. See, if I was an owner, I'd be stingy as fuck with my contracts. You have to actually prove to me you're worth it for me to be able to give. You're not going to give up money because, oh, you got physical talent. No, I need you as a corner. You got to lock motherfuckers up. You got to catch interceptions. You got to be top 5 to top 10 corner in your position for me to even think about fucking giving you the bag. I'm not just going to give motherfuckers the bag. You got to be fucked up. I don't give a fuck if it's a quarterback. My quarterback is good and not great. You're not giving the fucking bag. I'll go draft somebody else next year. I don't give a shit about why did you let him go? Because he was good. He wasn't great. I paid great quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's all I got to say about that. So we need to get to these press conferences. It looks like we're not going to have much time to go watch any highlights. Maybe one or two of them, but we're probably not going to have that much fucking time. Oh, by the way, was another trade I want to talk about? Oh, so Matt Collins went to Jacksonville and it did nothing. Like I thought it was going to help him because, like, damn, you're giving not Matt Collins, sorry, I apologize. Jacoby Myers got traded to Jaguars. I thought it was going to help the Jaguars be able to be in contention to be able to maybe potentially overthrow the Colts to, out the AFC South, or at the very least be able to compete for a playoff position. But I don't know what happened last week. I got to go find out. Most likely in private because we ain't going to have much time. But it didn't do shit. So I did a lot of yapping. Probably way too much. We need to finally get to these press conferences, which most likely we're only going to have time for. We have time to do anything else. I'm not watching Sirianni shit. I'm just not doing it. So it's going to be Patullo. Yeah, so we'll do that. So they got A.J. Brown. Let's watch the Jalen Hurts. No. Jalen Hurts thing first, and then we kind of
What
go
is
into
an
it.
SOP? So here's a misconception. A lot of people
Really?
think SOP is just a boring manual that nobody ever reads, but that's not true at all.
The fourth down play at the end of the game, was that something you improvised, or was that within the structure of the play?
It was standard operating procedure within the play. It was a play we made a ton of times and didn't make it that time.
In retrospect, would it be something that you
It sounds like he's saying that Sirianni called the shit, but I don't get why a coach would say why. Bullshit answer, Hurts, but I continue.
would do again, considering the circumstances of that moment?
Well, I think when coach called a timeout, you get a fire in you when you see that level of confidence and us to go out there and execute. And that was a big moment in the game. Reminds me of the many moments we've had. You look back at the Cleveland Browns game, just a different down. Where you're aggressive and you got to make a play. You put yourself in that position, and it's just a play we didn't make. But I love the mentality that we had with it. I think, if anything, it's an opportunity to grow, build, and find particulars on things so we can have that true alignment in what we do in situations, in first and 10, and third down, whatever it is. And so when we reflect on those things, we just look at it as a growth opportunity.
I know you have a certain level of freedom at the line of scrimmage. Is that a situation where you're checking to a certain look for AJ or a certain route?
No. I just operate within what's standard in our offense and what we do. I think the biggest thing is having alignment in what we do coming in. And so think everybody was on the same page with that, and it's an opportunity for us to grow, collectively.
Bill, and I only bring this up because someone thought it might be a good idea to maybe try to put your fund in that situation. Have you ever done anything like that before?
We still talking about this.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
no, have you ever done it or?
Well, I think in hindsight, I have done that. Yes, I have. In high school, I push kicked a couple different times. Um, so my pops was the last one that told me to do that one. So ain't nobody else asked me to do that since. But yeah,
In that situation, though, maybe you think,
it's a matter of trust, man. Like, is a glass half empty or is it half full? It's a team sport. You play collectively as a unit. Defense played lights out. It was a defensive battle this past week, and obviously, when you have your opportunities to strike on offense, you want to take advantage of them. But ultimately, it's a matter of trust. It's a matter of alignment. It's a matter of everybody being on the same page, going out there and executing. And that was one of the plays that we didn't execute. Ultimately, we executed enough to win the game. And so I look at it from a bird's eye view of that. Say, well, when you're playing team ball, you got to lean on the person next to you. You got to lean on the person next to you, and that's how this course. That's how this season has run its course a bit. It's been winning in a lot of different ways. It's been truly about the collective of that and playing together. And so I'm glad we were able to find a way to win.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the AJ Brown comments got back to you that he made on social media, but about just kind of where he is in the season, frustration, and he just told us in the locker room that he wasn't going to apologize for that. He does feel that way, and where do you stand in terms of getting him more involved?
Yeah, I know you got to ask those questions, and I have a lot of respect for that. And I think my focus always gears back to what the group is doing and what the collective is. Obviously, AJ plays a pivotal role in what we've been and what we've done, and so we just have to continue to grow with that every day. I know he's talked about having a growth mindset and embracing that, and so we just need that mentality as we go throughout this season and try and get to where we're trying to go.
From your perspective,
Beautiful, beautiful. Chef's kiss response. PR masterclass, Jelly. I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you, Jelly.
from your perspective, like in Green Bay, can you put a finger on that versus, say a Minnesota or a Giants
Put a
game?
finger in
Guys
what's
are-
supposed to be.
are
That's another
performing
conversation.
as but
Yeah. Well, I think we're still searching for those things. Obviously, we're always a work in progress. We're always a work in progress, and so we're always trying to get better. We're always trying to improve. We're always trying to figure things out, and that's just the mentality we have to have, regardless of what it looks like. Right? It doesn't matter what the performance is or what the outcome is. It's about the process. Truly about the process. And so, if we can just have that mentality, come together, approach every day with a great mentality and some diligence and just put forth the effort, everything will be what it's supposed to be. Hopefully that answers your question.
there were stretches. There were obviously a really long stretch in the Green Bay game, and I think the Cowboys game where AJ isn't targeted at all. And I know obviously you're going through your progressions and everything like that, but does there come a point maybe a conscious decision? Okay, I gotta look for AJ. I gotta make sure he's involved. How does that work?
It's just a matter of going through the progressions and trying to stay disciplined what I'm doing and going out there and executing the offense. You know,
His frustrations have been voiced after wins on multiple occasions now. Are you good with that?
we got the Detroit Lions, so I'm gonna definitely put a halt to that. I think the more we drive that, the more of a distraction it becomes, and I think ultimately it's about the group. And so um, things have been what they've been. And they are where they are. You know, we are who we are as a team. We're all we got, and we're all we need. And so, in terms of who we have this week, we got a really good opponent coming into town. A team that is, if I can only imagine, has been waiting on the opportunity to play us, given history and um, given how good they've been. Been a great team, great organization, great coach, and great culture. And so, um, my energy, my focus is purely focused on trying to be the best that I can be this week. Trying to lead this offense in a way that we need to be led, and be the leader I need to be in this time.
Yeah, following up on that about the Lions and Eagles, there's an interesting comparison in terms of wins. Since 2022, you two are the only two franchises with 40 or more in that span in the NFC. Have you figured out or seen any similarities in the way things run, organized, that has allowed the success that you all have?
Yeah, I see. Maybe physical.
Physical, whether it comes from coaching,
No,
organizational.
physicality. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Physicality is what I'm saying. Physicality. Play with great intensity, and just think they got a great mentality about themselves. And so, I got a lot of respect for this team. I mean, we hadn't been able to match up with them in the last 2 years, but um, it's hard to miss all the success that they've had. So, something that we hold in high regard. Got a lot of respect for this team coming in. And we gotta come ready to play.
As a follow-up to that, for some of these top of the conference teams, whether it's the Rams, Packers, these are teams you see a lot. The Lions are unfamiliar. You haven't seen them really since what, 22. So is the process this week different than the fact that it's a truncated week? Does that change it at all?
No, it doesn't change it. I think the experiences you have to lean on maybe are a bit more distant because it was week 1 of 2022. So all of those things are in mind. We just prepare as we prepare for any team. It's a really good team, really good defense. They're very disruptive, tight end man coverage. And then on offense, they got playmakers everywhere, and they're very efficient in what they do. So as a team, we're just preparing and going about it that way and trying to prepare our best so we're ready for Sunday night.
Like 2 more questions. You talked about leadership, and when things aren't going well, how do you handle that? And you have so many stars on the team that maybe aren't getting fed the way they normally are.
It's about living it. It's about living it.
Living
it. You gotta live it. You live it. You set the example. You give forth the effort, and you go about it in that way. And ultimately, it settles itself.
Well, you have to prepare for defense, Aiden Hutchinson and company. But when you look at their offense, is there a greater sense of urgency knowing you may have to score some points this week?
I think all the offenses these days, honestly. I think less to make it about them. Got a lot of respect for them. I think for us, as we try and identify our niche and what we do on offense, kind of a follow up to your last question, and I think there's no such thing as a perfect game. There's no such thing as a perfect game. Even in the game that was deemed perfect, there were still opportunities to grow in, opportunities that we maybe could have taken advantage of. And so collectively as a group, when you talk about the flow, you talk about a rhythm, those are the things that add up to that consistency that you like. And I think for us, we've been able to win in a ton of different ways. And I do think that impacts us a little bit on the backside because you don't see the same thing all the time. But is it half empty or is it half full? You guys decide that. I think it's only trending forward. I think it's a lot of opportunity to learn from those things and be the team we desire, be the offense we desire. But ultimately, it comes down to team ball. Team ball. Last week, it had me thinking about what I've always believed: defense wins championships. So we got to play together as a team. Offense, we got to go out there and play efficient ball and be productive what we do. We put points on the board, but a lot of respect to that opponent we played, and I got a lot of respect for this opponent that's coming in. And so hopefully we can just take a step, continue to take steps like we have.
Thank you.
Here's what nobody's
All right, so we gonna address the elephant in the room. My bad being on my phone. He just was doing the same PR shit. He wasn't really saying nothing. But I don't spend. By the way, that's not a bad thing either. It's just Jalen gonna be Jalen. It is what it is with that. Why the hell would they have AJ Brown's interview right after the? He's really fucked up now. He said, shit, here we go again.
Give everyone for context on their comments.
What's context? What's comments are you referring to?
I believe it was a Twitch stream where you said alluded to the fact that you weren't totally happy or things weren't going well work-wise?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think if you got eyes, you can see that. You know, the same thing I've been saying um, all season. You know, so me making light of my situation on Twitch with my friend, you know, that's something I'm not apologizing for. You know, because like I said, if you got eyes, you can see that. And so that's me trying to like laugh through my situation. So like, yeah. How do you see the situation? How do I see my situation?
Bro look like, hey, bro look like he about to go crazy. Be like,
You know,
how do I see my situation? It almost like he about to beat his ass asking that question. Like, how do I see my situation, motherfucker? You be watching, huh? Motherfucker about to do the same thing. Say, what the fuck do you mean about my situation, huh? You know you about to be in a situation, you about to get fucked up. You about to be in the hospital with bandages around your face for asking me that dumbass question, motherfucker. What you asking me that stupid ass question for? How's my situation? Look at me. 2 targets for 23 yards. That's my situation, bitch ass nigga. Don't ever ask me that fucking question again. The fuck is your problem?
figure it out. Trying to get this thing rolling and trying to help. Also, so that's the type of very
It'd be funny to see somebody yell like, hey, guys, just shut up back there. See, here the fuck question.
I don't know. That's a question I can't answer. You know, I can't. Like I said, like I think that's fair. You know, I see that the offense struggling, and I want to help contribute. You know, and I didn't get those opportunities, and so like I'm gonna have a problem with it, especially the player I am, and especially the player like you want me to be as a player. You know, and I'm that's tough for me. You know, and that's tough for everybody else because everybody want to contribute. You know, even Smith said somebody had to make the play. So we're trying to put ourselves in the best situation to make those plays. You know, you just got to get an opportunity. I didn't get that.
And when the defenses that we're hearing is that, well, you know, you're opening things up a little bit. Yeah. We know that, but you see around the league, you know, hey, Jeff JJ gets double, Kamon gets double. They still find a way to get those guys high volume targets. Meanwhile, you're not. So I think that's why people are questioning the numbers.
Yeah, like I said, I think if you got eyes, you can see that. It's not about what those other guys get. And for me, like I said, man, it's not about targets, man. It's about want to contribute, want to help, you know. And it's just been my situation, you know. And yeah, I am freeing up my teammates, which I don't have a problem with guys like me freeing up the play for Devontae. I don't have a problem with that, man. Like I want to see my team win. I want to see the offense thriving, passing, you know. Yes, I dictate the cover. That's every single week. If you look back on film, every single game, I'm getting clouded. There's no surprise. When we play Detroit on Sunday night, they play a lot of man. I'm pretty sure they're gonna cloud me. That's just what comes with it, you know. And you even look back at a Denver game, playing against the best corner in the game. They started going 1-on-1. I started winning. End of the game, cloud. That's just what it's gonna be for me. So like, I think it's fair for me to even say like, I feel like we do need to do a better job of creating for me, trying to help put me in a situation to help to, you know what I'm saying, to contribute.
Yo, they gotta stop using this word because you know your fucking way of helping contribute is you getting the ball. By the way, I want to make this very clear. I'm in 100%. I don't know about other. I can't speak for other fucking Eagles fans. I'm in 100% of AJ Brown for going crazy. And if he would have said motherfucker about him, like yo, Batulo's ass, that motherfucker played scared as hell. Hurst missed me on a couple times. I think I need to go tell homeboy to go get some goddamn glasses or some shit like that so he can walk around and feel like Eric Dickerson. No, I'm playing. But like, you know, Jalen did miss him on a couple cases. But again, I'm not gonna go crazy. I thought, you know, I stand by what I said. Jalen had a good game, and I think you guys are overblowing the small mistakes. But you're not gonna go look at fucking Lamar for throwing under 200 or goddamn Josh Allen for not being scoreless for 3 quarters. You guys are gonna, you know, you're gonna make excuses for Josh. He doesn't have a weapon. Keon Coleman is a bust. He's a bust. He's a bust. Pop, pop, pop. Shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm 100% in support of AJ doing what he's doing. Okay, so I'm not mad. It's just funny as hell how you keep putting it as like, well, it's not even about targets, but I want the ball. I want the ball. When I'm open, throw me the ball. If I'm not open, I still want you to throw me the ball. But yeah, and that's just kind of how it is. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of whatever the play is, if it's a run play, run the ball with me, not with Saquon. Maybe you do running back. You know what I'm saying? I could be like Debo Samuel too. I could be a wide back too. You know what I'm saying? But if you gotta give me an opportunity, you know, I don't have a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? I want the ball. But it's not about me having targets, but I do want the ball. I want the ball thrown to me. You know what I'm saying? And it might be, to me, it's not a target. To me, it's just you pass it to an open receiver. Even if I'm double cover, even if they got all 11 on defense on me. You know what I mean? That's how it is. He said it's not about targets, but in the same breath, he said, again, reiterating, I'm cool with this, but you want that goddamn ball. Let's
This
stop.
feels as if I'm just cleaning it up for everybody. I can't answer that.
What's your exit the coaching staff and how does that process go?
Yeah. That's like I said. That's been a nonstop communication. We both been talking and trying to get on the same page. So
How about the answers are there to get you open like that?
I think the answers is there. I'm always optimistic. We always go into it with a great game plan, trying to do certain things, and I understand like how the game goes. Sometimes defense take it away. Sometimes, just hypothetically speaking, O line may slip or fall or something and get pressure. That's part of the game. So
AJ, specifically with Jalen, what have your conversations been like in the aftermath of the game about some of the opportunities that maybe you guys didn't connect on?
I'm always just trying to find ways to get better. We watching film as a unit, as a group, and we're just trying to talk about what we can do better in those situations.
AJ, how do you square your...
I gotta be honest with you. And on that statement right there, you might call me crazy, and I could be wrong, okay? So I reserve the right to be able to take back what I said if I'm wrong. My gut feeling about that answer is he didn't even talk to Jalen Hurts. Just kind of try to read between the lines of what he just said, because he went straight to his, when they asked about it, have he had any, conversation with Jalen Hurts in the aftermath, he went straight to, we watched film together and stuff like. He didn't even say yes or no to the question. So that tells me, and again, this is me reading between the lines. I could be wrong. My guess is AJ didn't even fucking go up to Jalen and talk about anything. So clearly, it's something not right.
Situation with the fact that team's 7-2.
It's not just solely about my situation. I mean, guys, like obviously I want to win too, and I think if we're really focusing on winning and doing our job, like we can't just keep slapping the Band-Aid over defense doing their job and getting us out of trouble. Like, at what point are we gonna pick up our slack as an offense that we're so great, And that's what I'm getting at. It's not about we're not winning or I don't care about winning. All I care about is stat. No, it's been week after week. Sometimes we're not contributing. We're not doing our job on offense. So you can't just keep slapping a Band-Aid over that and you expect to win late in the year. You think you're going to go to it at the end of the year. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Last year, what it was, thank you for the ring, but it's a new season. They adapted. We have to adapt, and we have to continue to, get better and try to find new ways. So that's where the frustration comes in because it's not about winning, you guys. Like, I want to win, yes. And help contribute as well. Do our thing on offense as well. I think that's fair.
Do you feel like you're misunderstood in that people?
I don't care if I'm misunderstood. Like I stand up in front of it and fall on that sword over and over again. Like it's about doing what we're supposed to be doing on offense. And if we are really in this business or trying to get better, we got to do what we got to do, and not just say, "Oh, it's about wins." So like, as long as we got the win, it's cool. No, that ain't what. No, you cannot do that. Not in this league. We got to continue to get better. We got to do what we have to do on offense to help the defense, to help the special teams.
Damn, one person.
You said you don't know why, but you look at the film. We don't know what Jones' directive is on every play, but there were obvious examples of you were wide open and the ball wasn't coming to you. Is that related to whether you're the first read, or is that he's not throwing the ball to you for some reason?
I don't think that's the case at all. I think certain players have different reads. Despite what it looks like when somebody takes a screenshot, um, and you can't go off that. And he has certain reads. He has a lot going on in his head that he's trying to process, and then also he has pressure in his face. So, uh, like I said, I don't know. Maybe it's a question for him or KP. So,
AJ, with the last one, with the stream, you described as something to your friend.
I didn't.
So hearing come back here, so you're talking.
Yeah.
So it's been a very public setting. Well, why are you comfortable in speaking that way? Did you think about that? Why would you
He always comfortable because he's a grown fucking man, you dipshit. What are you talking about? How the fuck are you gonna tell a grown man not to talk? What the fuck you think is he black? Is he a fucking are you a slave or some shit? What the fuck is you talking about? Stop asking dumbass questions. Yeah, why do you feel comfortable speaking your mind? You should know your place, nigger. Like, shut the fuck up. He sounds fucking stupid. Dumbass question. Cause you're a grown ass man. That's why you get to ask the fucking question. Stupid ass.
All the right answers. I was filming the story. In that moment where I'm just talking to my friend, having fun with my friend, I'm not apologizing for that. Like I said, if you have eyes, you see that. And so it's not that I was throwing anybody on the bus. I'm literally trying to laugh through this. It's dope. But I'm trying to make fun of the situation and to try to get through it. So it is what it is, man. All right.
All right, thanks.
Appreciate you. They got great.
It's a dumbass last question, bro. Why do you feel comfortable speaking? Because he got a fucking mouth, bitch, because he's a human being. What kind of dumbass question is that? Who the fucking idiot that asked that question? I want to know. I might DM his ass. No, I'm playing. I ain't gonna do that. I got better shit to do. Alright, next interview or press conference, whatever you want to call it. That was such a stupid fucking question. Yeah, why do you feel comfortable in public spaces speaking? Because he's a human being, bitch. You thought... the fuck are you talking about? This and
Do you know Hobby Lobby has hundreds of incredible
this one
products
and a
on
goddamn
sale
two little
every single
interview
week?
and maybe one time.
Let's check out our weekly ad to discover unbelievable.
Depends how far we get. Hall of Famer, put that jacket on him, bro. Wait a minute, dog. Wait a minute, bro. We gotta represent. Put that jacket on him. I remember the Ojos. Put that jacket on real quick. Wait a minute. Fangio. Oh shit, you dropped this, Fangio, pick this up. This your jacket right here. Boy, Hall of Famer. That man a Hall of Famer, bro. Some respect on his name. Matter of fact, we gonna have this jacket on the whole goddamn time. Hall of Fame level, Hall of Famer, bro. Straight up. Put some respect my boy Fangio name. I mean, that gentleman's name. I don't want to. He my elder. I ain't gonna.
Into the game, or was it just how he was playing, and you're like, let's just roll with it?
No, that was the intention. He's been playing all year. It's not like he's been inactive.
As far as picking up the scheme, though,
Well, a lot of carryover from 23.
It's the first time speaking with you since that trade. What was your view of the acquisition? Background looking.
All for it.
What do you like about Jalen as a player?
You guys saw it. He plays hard. He's strong at the point. Good pass rusher. You know. When you shop at Nordstrom's, you get good stuff.
does it help you to have that different type of body type at that position with him on the team?
It's not so much body type, but I know what you're saying. It's the way he plays. You know, he plays big.
On that 4th and 1 with Morrow sort of calling it out, how is that rare for a defensive tackle to be able to do that?
You know, some of it's, preparation during the week. Some of it's what's happened in the game. Some of it could be, a stance that he sensed, whatever. But, it's everything. But no, I don't think it's rare if you're a smart player, and Mo is.
You had a lot of moving parts this year, guys coming and going, injury layoffs, trades, coming out of retirement, going into retirement. When you look at the way they played together on Monday night, where does that come from? Just that ability to have kind of new pieces and play.
Yeah, I think the position coaches did a good job getting everybody ready. like there's a lot of things you mentioned which are all true, but some of them have some carryover, like in Jalen's case. BG obviously was here last year. He didn't get to play much because he was on a snap limitation. The same thing with Nolan. He was on a snap limitation. Nolan's back and he's been here. So, yeah, I think overall the players and their position coaches did a good job getting them ready.
The secondary, it's quarterback too, was a big question in training camp. You had your own doubts that you expressed about Adoree in training camp. Are you surprised that he's still the guy there, and what does that say about him that he is still the guy there at this point?
No, I'm not really surprised. He's a survivor. I think this is his 9th or 10th year. So if you survived that long, you got a little something in you. And hopefully he can take that game, build on it, and keep playing good.
For Michael Carter to practice, what have you seen in him that you like him?
Yeah, I think he's a good nickel. That's his best position. And he's learning the nuances of our defense, different for him compared to Jalen. Everything's totally new for him. Plus, there's more to learn. But like him. And, if we need another nickel, he's going in.
Campbell took over play calling last week for Detroit. What changed?
Well, they had 550 yards, I think, and about half of it was running and half of it was passing. So they were really good. And they got a lot of talent on that side of the ball. They got the best O-line in the league. Quarterback, according to Dan's, playing the best that he's ever played. 2 good running backs. The receivers are all fast. It's a good unit to be calling plays for.
When you look at Jalen Phillips' impact, how much does he help Jalen Carter and vice versa with them both being on the field together?
Yeah, I think the more good players you have out there, it's going to benefit everybody. And, it's not rocket science. When you get disruptive players, other players fall into plays, like on the sack that Jalen's got. Jalen really made the play, applied the pressure and flushed the quarterback. Jalen's finished it, so the more players you have that can do that, the better off.
Sounds with Morrow either in the summer or last year that led you to believe he'd have this type of season?
Yeah, last year he played good. He was playing, I don't know, Ruben would know how many snaps a game he was playing last year.
Exact same number this year as he did all last year. So about.
Yeah, so he was a lot 25 play a game guy last year. Now he's a lot more. But when he played last year, he played good.
That also sometimes project like if that production will remain consistent when the snap count increases.
It shouldn't. In his case, the extra load does affect him a little bit. He's on the smaller size as a defensive lineman goes, so he's got to strain a little bit more than somebody else. So it does affect him a little bit that way.
Sort of view Jihad's role right now with the defense at Lord.
Just what it's been. We're mixing him. He's playing some outside, playing some inside. Totally happy with his play at both spots and thrilled to have him.
Like a learning curve with he had a ton of snaps as a starter. Now he's moving around a little bit. It's kind of is it a lot on his plate as a rookie?
There is, particularly when we move him outside. Because all camp and everything, he was strictly inside because we knew Nakobe was going to miss 7 games or whatever it was. And for a rookie, that's tough. You'd compare it to last year with Quinyon. We messed with him at nickel early in the off season, a little bit of camp. Once we put him at right corner and never moved him, Same thing with Coop last year. He was backup nickel to start because he missed all the camp, starting dime. So he had 2. And then once we said, hey, you're the nickel, you don't want to give a rookie too many extra jobs, but sometimes you're forced to.
Is there a coverage element at that position that outside? Maybe?
Yeah, he should excel at that. He should. But again, it's the reps.
What did Jair show you when, the limited time you were with him in that in practice? What was kind of your perspective?
Yeah, I thought he was looking pretty good, and was anxious to see him play in a game and see how it looked. He decided otherwise, and we all respect that.
Corey, you had mentioned, hold on, as a coach.
Ooh, he kind of put you in your place there. Go ahead.
As a coach, how do you go about balancing what's best for Jihad like this week? Because I know you want to win the game.
Yeah, it's
Why you
it's
fucked
what's
up the
best for the
Jacorian
team.
Bennett question? I wanted to hear it.
Development and next year and that stuff into consideration.
No.
With Jacorian, you had mentioned a couple of weeks ago when he got back to practice, you used the term incomplete.
Mm-hmm. And it
You
hasn't
always
changed.
stress how important practice
Oh
is.
shit!
So
Oh
you
shit!
have to-
Oh shit! I caught that. God damn! Oh shit! Ah damn! Oh you motherfucker! Shot me in my liver! Damn! I'm gonna go down and buy her. Get it? Oh shit! Oh shit! Listen. All I can take from it is maybe Jacorian is not the Fangio know what the fuck he doing, and that's all I gotta say. Maybe Jacorian ain't the guy. Hey, that nigga. Oh shit.
How is he close to you?
Still to say, I don't think you truly know anybody, particularly a corner, until you're out there where there's a scoreboard. And so it's kind of feel the same, but optimistic, but the same.
The last press conference, the topic Cooper on the outside came up.
Corey ain't never gonna get no hard pause.
Inside. Does Michael Carter's acquisition change the equation?
Possibly. Yep.
Think Jihad grow into a full-time edge rusher as his career goes on?
Maybe. I like him as an ILB, but we'll see.
I think he needs to get better at it to be able to maybe become a full-time edge.
I just haven't seen him enough out there, so I don't know that I can give you an informed, great answer on that.
What's happened for Cooper to become a full-time outside corner?
Cooper? Oh, just that the play out there is not good enough.
In Quignon's case, you've mixed up whether he's playing field side or bouncer side. What dictates that?
Every game's different. Could be a jersey number, could be call. There's a ton of variables in it.
With with Cooper outside, like to get better, he's been at nickel all this time. Is there faith that if he has more reps there, that you would?
You guys gotta stop fucking annoying Fangio. Fangio said he likes Cooper DeJean at the nickel spot. Now, if there's any development or anything surprising that happens where Cooper DeJean just so happened to play the outside, then I get why you asked the question, but it's very evident. And honestly, I don't think you should move from that spot. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, at the end of the day, this cornerback 2 position is going to be a question mark pretty much until the end of the goddamn year. Hopefully it doesn't cost us a Super Bowl trip or a Super Bowl victory. But at the end of the day, stop asking about the fucking Cooper DeJean thing. He's going to stay in the inside. I think that's where he should be. That's where he's great at right now to make a significant change at this point in time when, first off, the Hall of Fame fucking performance by Vic Fangio. Like, straight up. Some of y'all have problems with how he took Adoree all the way back, which, again, I see some of the concerns. But realistically, bro, like, Adoree's not, you're not going to, come on now. Or Dory's doing well enough, but not that good to be having him like right next to the. Nah.
Well, he does start there on the base, and Cooper's a little different in that all he played in college was corner. And there's a little less to learn there. It's mentally, but because of his background and his football acumen, he can adjust to that quicker and better than most.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey, it's Adam with Vanish.
There's a Lamar Jackson article. Let's see. Could I talk about this in a timely fashion? All right. So there's a Lamar Jackson article that I would like to Reed? Jackson Bleacher Report. I can't fucking spell Jackson. You stupid. Can't talk. You can't type. You remember your own goddamn name? Okay, so I guess it's this guy. Hold on. Baltimore fans ain't gonna be happy with this. Already gonna be happy with this. By this week, Bleacher Report named Lamar Jackson the most overrated quarterback in the NFL. Bleacher Report's Alex K. Just so some Mr. Beast looking motherfucker. Yeah. So Alex K. Bleacher Report. I want y'all to have a picture of this young man. See, I know what the nigga look like. Oh, Mr. Beast. What's going on, bro? I didn't know you worked for Bleacher Report too. Like, damn. Are you spending all your YouTube money? That's crazy, dog. But yeah, moving on from that. So top 5 ranking of overrated quarterbacks. He put Justin Herbert, Chargers. I don't think that's fair. That offensive line been killing him, and his wide receivers sometimes they be up and down. Trevor Lawrence, Jaguars, fair. Jordan Love, Packers, okay, and Dak Prescott, Cowboys. To be fair to Dak Prescott, some of this shit that's taking place, especially the Arizona game, really wasn't his fault. Lamar Jackson may not just be one of today's most overrated active quarterbacks, but also of all time. While his regular season fucking statistics and team success are undoubtedly impressive, his .737 winning percentage is one of the best in history. He hasn't found a way to deliver when it truly counts. The Baltimore Ravens star has been a 4-time Pro Bowl and 3-time All-Pro for his inflated regular season marks, but his 2-time MVP status is borderline fraudulent. Shut the fuck up. His credentials simply don't measure up to the other legends who have won the award on multiple occasions. Of the 10 players who have joined the multiple MVP club during the Super Bowl era, Jackson is the lone member without a Super Bowl ring. All the others that include the list includes Johnny Unitas, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Brett Favre, Joe Montana, Steve Young, Kurt Warner, and Patrick Mahomes were able to take their 10 multiples. Okay, we're already fucking up. We're already fucking up already. You're already fucking up. Steve Young been in 1 Super Bowl. And if I'm not mistaken, I watched Shannon Sharp. I think this quarterback named Earl Morrall. I think it was either 1970 or whatever case it be, started for the Colts. So that's not right. So the motherfucker works for Bleacher Report, doesn't even do his fucking research. How the fuck are you gonna say? Listen, if you're gonna say something controversial, all right, at least know your fucking facts. How the fuck did you type this? And listen, whoever the fuck is the editorial in chief of Bleacher Report, how the fuck did you let this nigga just put this fuck shit in the article and didn't fact check him? It's just crazy to me. So I don't know if to be mad at this fucking Mr. Beast bum ass cousin or to be mad at whoever the fuck is the editorial in chief of Bleacher Report to literally not fact check this nigga on him typing that bullshit. Jackson's yet to even reach a big game, let alone help raise a banner. He has a 3-5 lifetime playoff record, a .375 postseason winning percentage that stands far and away as the worst among the multiple-time MVPs. Okay, now let me tell you the truth about Lamar Jackson. Okay, I'm gonna give you the fucking wide receiver core he got and the 2 tight ends, and I want to see your quarterback throw for 4,000 yards and damn near rush for 1,000. Okay. I want to take, okay, let's just say, to me, the best Ravens team was 2 years ago when they had Odell, they had Patrick Queen, they had Geno Stone. When that dude McDonald, who's now coaching the Seahawks, he was coaching. He's now the head coach of the Seahawks, but he was the defensive coordinator for the Ravens. Okay, that was when Baltimore was at its best when it comes to the Lamar Jackson. That team, in my opinion, should have been in the Super Bowl. First off, let's do like a little chronology and timeline of Lamar Jackson's career to an extent. The very beginning, okay, he's had injury issues, right? And obviously he had to overcome the hurdle of being able to throw the NFL ball, right? Because he talked about how, he had to get used to, it's a different feel between throwing an NFL ball and the college ball, which is 100% correct about that. So it took him a while. He had to adjust to be able to throw it. He had to get better throwing the football. So he did that. He's getting better every single year, okay? And the truth of the matter is this. I've said this before. I've argued with credentialed reporters on this shit. And the facts prove that I'm right. Lamar Jackson does not have a guy that he could throw that fucking ball up there and he's coming down with it. Zay Flowers, like I said, has a lot of talented upsides, has a top 10 caliber as a talent. Okay, he has the potential to get there. But right now, Flowers is sitting at potential. He's not, he doesn't have the it factor right now. Now, can he develop that? Yeah. But so far, he's just potential with a lot of upsides and talent. He's not a complete receiver yet. He's still developing. Bateman is a light number 2, number 3 on most teams. He's improved last year. That's why a lot of teams wanted to acquire him. I think Dallas was one of those teams. But again, Bateman is a light 2, number 3 on most other teams. Andrews, really good tight end. Made some bad mistakes. And again, you could say that Lamar didn't play good in that first half. And if Lamar played good in the first half of that playoff game against Buffalo, we wouldn't be so focused on what Mark Andrews didn't do in the clutch, right? But Mark Andrews dropped 2 critical drops, had two critical drops that could have helped the team potentially put the team in position to win the football game. Okay? So you got to take that into consideration. Likely and Andrew, these are top 10 caliber football tight ends, but he doesn't have a wide. A lot of people say, well, we got DeAndre Hopkins, we got Odell. Odell had a solid year when he was on the field in Baltimore. It was solid. It wasn't great by the stretch of imagination, but it was solid, right? But they got a injury-riddled Odell, okay? So I don't want to hear shit about that. Then let's go over to the next one. So Hollywood Brown showed promise at the beginning, but had a lot of drop issues. So let's X that shit off the list. Henry had a great first year. This year, he's not looking so great. And part of that has to do with, Harbaugh not slowly but surely losing trust in the ball. But Henry probably is having his worst year of his career so far, in my honest opinion. I don't give a fuck what the stats say. I'm saying from my eye test, he's having the worst year of his career. Okay? So the running game is not working. But I don't give a fuck how great a quarterback is. If you do not give him one guy he can throw the ball to, because let's go over this fucking list right here. Johnny Unitas had Raymond Berry. It's probably some other niggas that I don't know off the top of my head. Had Raymond Berry. Peyton Manning. Dallas Clark. Which, you could say in the same breath as Andrews, whatever the case may be. But I feel like Dallas Clark's career was better than Andrews. So far. But you had Reggie Wayne. Edgar James had a good run. Adai was good for a few minutes. But let's stick with wide receivers, right? Let's keep this in the conversation about wide receivers. Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison. Okay? Let's go over to Aaron Rodgers. Jordy Nelson for a few minutes, who is underrated, and Devontae Adams. What the fuck are we talking about? And Cobb was nice for a few minutes. Brady. Took him a while, but ended up getting Randy Moss, Troy Brown, right? The fuck are we talking about? And then Gronkowski, that was a tight end that you throw that motherfucker up there, he coming down with. Now, I do think that in some conversations, Rob Gronkowski is a little bit overrated because we haven't seen what he does if he's not playing with Tom Brady. Anybody can look good playing with Tom, and it's not just to deny the physical specimen and the talent that Gronkowski had, but I would have liked to see that translate under a completely different quarterback, right? Favre had Donald Driver, had goddamn Sterling Sharp, okay? So, boom, right there. Joe Montana, fucking Jerry Rice. John Taylor was solid, right? What are we talking about? And Brent Jones at tight end. Steve Young, Brent Jones at tight end. Jerry Rice. Kurt Warner. Isaac Holt. Torrey Holt. Isaac Bruce. The fuck are we talking about? And Mahomes, had Tyreek Hill for a few minutes. And again, defensively wasn't the best until as a unit collectively, but the fuck are we talking about? So he had injury issues, and literally Lamar could have went to another team. But I think part of the reason why they didn't get him or they didn't want him is because he had some injury problems in the beginning of his career. So most of those guys that you have on the list got one guy If you throw that motherfucking ball up there, they're going to get it. The Ravens keep putting a Band-Aid on a fucking gunshot wound. What is a gunshot wound? The fact that they have no fucking real wide receiver threat. You guys want to sit up there and play this, oh, let's have a great defense. Well, guess what? In order for you to have great defense, you got to sign the motherfucking guys that's giving your defense, your maker defense great, right? You let go of Patrick Queen. Regardless of how you feel about his career overall, he was a staple in that defense. You let him go and you didn't replace him. You let Geno Stone go. And right now, the secondary got some issues. Okay? Especially at the corner spot. Nate Wiggins is showing a lot of promise. But again, and Humphreys is looking a little so-so. Geno Stone, I think, led the league in interceptions before he went to Cincinnati. So you let two guys go that could have been staples in your defense. When we talk about all-time great defense, we talk about it's never one person. It's always a collective. You let go of two guys that literally could have had your team be a fucking dynasty, and you did not replace any of those guys. To this day, the Ravens defense is suffering because they didn't re-sign Patrick Queen, because they didn't re-sign Geno Stone. What the fuck are we talking about here? At the end of the day, Lamar Jackson's stats, and let's take it a step further. We've seen what happens, what has happened in Lamar Jackson's absence. Matter of fact, fuck all of that. Turn on the motherfucking tape. Turn on the tape. Lamar Jackson quite arguably is the greatest dual threat quarterback of all time. Turn on the motherfucking tape. He's great in the pocket. He's great outside of the pocket. He does tend from time to time to make some errant throws, but he's great outside of the pocket. He's great inside of the pocket. His throwing on a run is phenomenal. He makes some crazy plays, whether it's with his legs or his arm. He makes highlight fucking real plays. He's a fucking human highlight film. So, if you want to sit up here and talk about what Lamar hasn't done versus the guys that you got on this fucking list, I want you to also pay attention to they have a wide receiver or at least a tight end or maybe both that they throw that motherfucker up there and they can go get it. All right? You had fucking Greg Roman as your offensive coordinator. How the fuck is that helping Lamar Jackson? Oh, because Lamar Jackson got to take advantage of his running ability. What are we talking about? So when you're having this conversation, understand that circumstances and context matter. Yes, I do think Lamar, at the end of the day, you got to push a little bit harder to go get to a Super Bowl. You got to get it done when it matters the most. And I do agree that in last year, in that first half, you can't play like that. You got to play better. And yes, Andrews did what he did. He can't be as, like, it is what it is. But Lamar got to play better in that first half. You know he's going up against the Buffalo Bills. And you also have to remember that earlier on, he was dealing with injury issues, so he wasn't even fucking available for his team. So please, when you're speaking about Lamar, take into account the full picture. His situation, his circumstances, the system, the players around him, because they make the most sense. And better yet, before you come on this online saying this stupid ass shit, writing this dumb ass fucking article, all right, Mr. Beast Clone, at the very least, do your motherfucking research to know that Steve Young made it to one fucking Super Bowl. So if you're going to make a hot take conference, I'm all about it because I make hot takes, but I make sure I get my fucking facts straight. So that way, the only thing you can argue is my perspective. You can't argue about the facts that I'm using to defend my perspective, but you can argue against my perspective. There's a difference. If I have to do more than arguing your perspective, if I have to argue the fact that you use, your fucking argument's already flawed. So I'm done. I'm entertaining that bullshit. We're going to move on to Kevin Patullo and see what the fuck he got to say about this atrocity that happened on Monday Night Football. Ready for your ass to get out of here too.
Obviously, AJ's expressed his frustration. How do you kind of navigate through that as play caller, as coach?
Take Jim off the
I
fucking
think really
leash.
when you look back at just from my time being here with him all the way back to 22, we've had a really strong relationship. And so even throughout the year, him and I have great talks. Even today, yesterday, like there's nothing changed, in our relationship. He's in my office a ton, hanging out, talking about football, talking about life, talking about things, what we can do differently, what we're doing currently. So I think from that standpoint, like nothing really changes, and he knows
Ain't that the motherfucking problem that nothing changes?
what we're trying to do, and
What are you
obviously, like,
talking
he's a
about?
main part in this offense. And when we game plan, you always want to look to 11, 26, 6, and 88. That's where the ball needs to go, and it just kind of goes from there. So I think when you look at our relationship all the way back to 22, it's nothing's really changed, and him and I talk continuously, pretty much about everything.
AJ's put up big numbers over the past few years.
Mhm.
He was a bit of an anomaly. I was wondering, I know it's a bit X's and O's, but is there something different the defense is doing this year you could explain as to why maybe this year it's been a little tougher to get him the ball?
I wouldn't say it's different. I think if you look at the style of defense we've played this year, kind of on a consistent basis, we've played obviously top tier defenses in the pass rush and things like that, and we've done a pretty good job against them. I think it's just kind of been the situations we've been in and teams we've played kind of week after week. It's just had different games. Obviously, a couple weeks ago we had the Minnesota game. We had two receivers for over 100 yards, and then we had the two backs over 100 against the Giants, and then this one kind of felt a little, obviously not like we would like it all. Felt more like Kansas City kind of. So I think as coaches, we look at that and we try to figure out, is there something that's constantly showing up? I wouldn't say it's the same thing every week. I think we're kind of in those spots where when you're game planning, you're still constantly adjusting. I know this year more than before, we've had a lot of different things once we get out there, and we're adjusting constantly. So like, a lot of people say wait to halftime. Well, for us, it's literally been after the first series. It's like, okay, we got to start to adjust now and find things and kind of work on different plays and talk through plays that, hey, is this the coverage we thought we were going to get? No. So now we got to look to this and look to that. So I think there's a little bit of a difference from that standpoint. I think there's been more change within the game rather quickly rather than kind of game to game. It's been a little bit different, if that makes sense.
So those unscouted looks,
Mm-hmm.
they've been significantly up compared to.
We've had probably more this year than we probably had in the past. Now, as the game goes, you start to get a feel for things, kind of like the Vikings game, the Giants, when you start to feel a pattern. But I think it's been a little bit different this year. But really, even when you go back to all the way back to 22, that's kind of been a constant thing with us. Once we added AJ in there, and then we added Saquon last year, it really turned into more of okay, what are people going to try to do because of who we have? And it's like almost a wait and see game a little bit at times to see what people are going to do. And obviously Jalen's element with he can run and throw it and get out of the pocket. So then you have that in there too. That's why some weeks certain things appear and some don't, depending on the defensive game plan.
There were some third and longs where you opted to run the ball. What were the kind of factors that?
The one was early in the game we were backed up a little bit, and I think it was just more of the way the game kind of went. We had that one drive where we had the penalties and we kept kind of going backwards. That was just kind of one where it went there.
Real quick, I'm so sick of this nigga always using penalties. It's like this motherfucker is hoping that the O lineman or something happens that's out of his. Hold on, let's put this shit full screen. He's hoping that something happens out of his control so he can fucking go scapegoat somebody else. No, nigga, you are the problem. You and Sirianni, because like I said before, multiple cases. This is Sirianni's scheme, okay? You're the figurehead that's calling the plays or whatever, so you deserve the blame, but it's the Sirianni scheme. But at the end of the day, it's like this nigga is hoping that something happens out of his control so he can go use that as a scapegoat. This motherfucker.
One where it was kind of a double play. It was a run, kill, pass, if that makes sense. And the way the coverage dictated, they got handed off, which is the right call. He did the right thing. Jalen only gave him 2 plays. So that happens sometimes in those third and longs. But I think it just depends on each situation game with the coverages, what the situation is within the game. What's the field position look like? I know that has a big part of it. And, we're in constant dialogue with Nick about this too. So everybody kind of knows we're on the same page. And certain games, I know like Denver, we threw the ball down the field a little bit third and long. So I think it depends on game to game and really the situation, the field position and things like that.
Follow to that, you lead the league in third and long run, or I should say design runs, right? Not just scrambles. If you look at it, is this a philosophical thing from the team as far as field position, or in the case the other day we saw the 3rd and 12 at Devontae. Are there times when you can throw to the stick?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there definitely is times you want to be aggressive, and we've been at times, and I think it's a little more situational driven. You do not want to run the ball, obviously. Every third and long, that's not going to work out really well in your favor. But I think depending on whether you're backed up or where the ball's headed, sometimes
The majority of the fucking times you did it, we were around midfield. What the fuck are you talking about? It wasn't just always backed up in our own end zone. This motherfucker, you just say stupid shit. You're supposed to be aggressive at all times. Yeah, there's sometimes like, you know what, man, look at the situation. All right, whatever. I guess that makes sense. But like, you just saying shit that don't even make. You looking for this motherfucker is looking for a reason to blame somebody else and throw somebody else under the bus outside of you're not doing your fucking job.
Think like, hey, we got a 3-man rush. They're going to drop into coverage. You know, if you look back at the Jacksonville game last year, I think it was a 3rd and 20 something against the Jaguars. We handed it off and scored a touchdown. So like it's been done before. It's nothing new. It's always kind of been there for us. It's just we've had more 3rd and longs, which has kind of been something we got to stay out of. And if we can stay out of those, you know, we hopefully don't have this situation pop up.
What did you see on the 4th down play, the final play of the game, just in terms of Jalen's decision making, potential, any route adjustments? Just what did you see on that play?
Yeah, so once that play went in, we were all on board. We knew what we were doing, and we've done that before in other situations in games. And you know that what's cool about our players are they have high football IQ and they understand there's certain plays that they have the ability to do what they need to win, and we trust them in those moments. And that was one of those plays. And you know, unfortunately, we just didn't hit it. But you know, in the past, if you look back, we did the same thing as Washington, very similar play with a similar kind of parameter for them. We hit it on a huge 4th down. We did the same thing against Cleveland to basically end the game. So, you know, we have that in us, and our players do a good job of understanding what to do, when to do it, and unfortunately, it just didn't work.
With Devontae, what makes him such a good, deep ball receiver?
I think there's a couple things. His ability to track the ball is tremendous, right? And I think his speed and just the feel he has for getting behind the coverage and navigating the corner and setting him up and working his way down the field. The play that he scored on the other day was a great job by Jalen. If you watch the play itself, the one that he caught, Jalen did a great job of understanding, like AJ was the first read and they collapsed on it, and you know, we hit Devontae over the top. So it was really good by everybody. Everybody was where they needed to be, and we executed at a high level there.
How similar or different is preparing for Aiden Hutchinson the way you prepare for Mike Parsons?
I would say it's very similar. I mean, when you look at those kind of guys, they can take the game over, right? They can wreck the game at any point in time. So I think when you're dealing with guys like that, you got to always make sure protection plans in place, the run plans in place. You know where they're at all times. And these guys do a really, really good job. Calvin Shepard does a really, really good job of putting those guys in the right spot, moving them around.
Let me one time that I would like to hear that I need to do better. Just one time. I know accountability might be too much for motherfuckers. I know accountability is like getting a fucking shot out of hospital for some motherfucker. But just one time, just say, you know what, I need to be better. I'd like to hear that from you. That might be too much. That might be asking too much.
You gotta always be aware of those guys.
Maybe I should go on your DM if you got a social media and go ask for one about
the
that.
ball early in games, and then not in late games. And I'm not talking about like trying to run out the clock with in that box, but just in general, like Saquon's averaging almost 7 yards carry in the first quarter. Obviously, 65 is going to increase it, but every game he's been 4-5, 5-5, and then as the game goes on, the production just hasn't been the same. Any theories on that?
I mean, right now, come to mind, I would say no, but it's definitely something like as games go on, we're always looking to see what other complements we can call in the run game to what's going on in the first half or that quarter, that drive. So I think for us, it's really just a matter of continuously finding new ways and different things to get him, on the perimeter and get explosive, or up the middle if we can create a crease in there. So I think really it's just as the game goes and flows, we got to continue to work on creating, new complements in different ways to just get him those yards he needs. And, when you watch the Giants game, we were kind of able to do that in spots, and we just got to continue to find ways to do that.
You haven't had a chance to talk to you since the bye week. I know you got time to do a lot of self-reflection. What did you learn maybe about your own offense during the bye week?
I think when we looked back at it, as a staff, there were some similarities to kind of years past with kind of where we're at in certain things. But the biggest thing was that when we were on schedule, we did a really nice job. When we had negative plays or penalties, that's where we got caught. And that's where these 3rd and longs happened, 2nd and longs, and we had some drive stops. And so I think that was the biggest thing, is how do we get rid of those, how we create explosive plays for our guys, and just use different things that we've done throughout the season each game has looked so different. We've used tempo, we've used Fred in there, we've used different personnels and continuously are changing things. And I think the neat part about it is we're still finding different ways to win, but we're still trying to find things we can do within each game. So I think when we went through the self-scout, the biggest thing that we found was that there's not one set thing we have right now, but there's all these other things we can build on and kind of create an advantage for ourselves going forward.
Along those same lines, but the 3 and outs, I mean, it's a high number. What did you sort of discover, and what's the key to moving past?
So when you look at that in the self-scout stuff, and even last week, it's the efficiency on first down or second down, right? And you get to those, I think we're very high right now. I can't remember the exact number in third longs, and that's the issue. And so we really just got to continue to find ways as coaches.
Shut the fuck up, nigga. We done. This motherfucker there's no accountability from this motherfucker. It's always somebody else's fault, not yours. I'm done. This nigga gonna piss me the fuck off. All right, I'm out of here. I got y'all tomorrow. We got Oklahoma and Alabama. Oklahoma. Yeah, y'all remember Dirty? I don't know if some of y'all too young for Dirty. I was too young for that, but I did end up seeing the movie Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Dirty Rotten fucking Scoundrels. I'm a Dirty Rotten Scoundrel. Sound like a fucking illiterate bitch on this goddamn stream the whole time. But anyway, man, that's it, man. I hope y'all enjoyed yourselves. Once again, I apologize for yesterday. Just a lot of shit going on, but I made up for it with a nice stream today. I'll see y'all tomorrow for Oklahoma, Alabama. And then maybe if I see a game in the early window, I'm going to have to watch the highlights by myself, unfortunately. And that's all I got to say, man. Y'all be easy. Peace! Oh, shit. I forgot I had the jacket on. What?